Hello, welcome to Writings from the Hills. My name is Lori. Today I am reading a selection from a book called Blood on the Ohio, Frontier Tales of Terror by Fritz Zimmerman. And this is a new book to us. It was actually published in 2016. There are multiple chapters and there's quite a few different sections of different things about attacks on Native Americans and also on the pioneers. And I'm going to actually read a section from 104. This actually event occurred in 1772, and this chapter is titled Mass Murder at a Peaceful Indian Village of Bulltown. Not long after the murder of Bald Eagle, another outrage of similar nature was committed on a peaceable Indian by William White, and for which he was apprehended and taken to Winchester for trial. But the fury of the populace did not suffer him to remain there awaiting the event. The prison doors were forced, the irons knocked off him, and he was again set at liberty. But still a more atrocious act is said to have been soon after perpetrated. Until the murders committed were only on such as were found within the limits of white settlements and on men and warriors. In 1772, there is every reason to believe that women and children likewise became victims to the exasperated feelings of our own citizens, and this too while quietly enjoying the comforts of their own huts in their own village. There was at the time an Indian town on the Little Canal called Bulltown, inhabited by 5 families who were in the habits of social and friendly intercourse with the whites on Buchanan and on Hacker's Creek. Frequently visiting and hunting with them, there was likewise residing on Gauley River the family of a German by the name of Stroud. In the summer of that year, Mr. Stroud, being from home, his family were all murdered, his house plundered, and his cattle driven off. The trail made by these leading in the direction of Bulltown induced the supposition that Indians of the village had been the authors of the outrage, and caused several to resolve to avenge it upon them. A party of 5 men, 2 of whom were William White and William Hacker, who had been concerned in previous murders, expressed a determination to proceed immediately to Bulltown. The remonstrance of the city generally could not operate to effect a change in that determination. They went, and on their return circumstances justified the belief that per apprehension of those who knew the temper and feelings of White and Hacker had been well founded, and that there was some fighting between them and the Indians. And notwithstanding that they denied ever having seen an Indian in their absence, yet it was the prevailing opinion that they had destroyed all the men, women, and children at Bulltown and threw their bodies into the river. Indeed, one of the party is said to have inadvertently used expressions confirmatory of this opinion, and to have then justified this deed by saying that the clothes and other things known to have belonged to the Shroud's family were found in the possession of the Indians. The village was soon after visited and found to be entirely desolated, nothing being ever after heard of its former inhabitants. There can remain no doubt that the murder of the Shroud's family was requited on them. Here then was the fit time for Indians to commence a system of retaliation and war, if they were disposed to engage in hostilities for offences of this kind alone. Yet no such events was the consequences of the killing of the Bulltown Indians, or of those other murders which preceded the outrage, and it may be hence rationally concluded that the murders on the Ohio River did not lead to such an event. If, however, a doubt should still remain, that doubt is surely removed by the declaration of Logan himself. It was his family that was killed opposite Yellow Creek about the last of April, and in the following July, after the expedition against Wappatomica towns under Colonel McDonald, he says, Indians are not angry on account of those murders, but only myself. The fact is that hostilities had commenced before the happening of the affair at Captina, or that near Yellow Creek, and these, instead of having to produce that event, were the consequences of previous hostile movements of the Indians. Those who lived more immediately in the neighborhood of the scene of the action at the time was generally opinion that the Indians were urged to war by the instigation of emissaries from Great Britain, and of the Canadian traders, and independently of any knowledge that they may have had the conduct of these, and circumstances of greater nature would seem to justify that opinion. This was published in the Border Settlers of Northwest Virginia from 1768 to 1795, and this was published in 1905, which is why you'll see a lot of the term Native Americans being Indians, and of course even how the attack is addressed. Sadly, Bulltown is not alone. There was more than one town that was destroyed that had peaceful Indians that unfortunately faced retribution for crimes they never committed. But there is quite a few different stories. This is Blood on the Ohio, Frontier Tales of Terror by Fritz Zimmerman. And this is available to be checked out. You can go to our website at www.briggslibrary.com to request a copy, or you can call any of our locations to request it. I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you next time.